Glory to Jesus Christ. I'm Father Thomas Loya from the Tabor Life Institute. Behind me is an icon of St. John Chrysostom, a 4th century father of the church, especially the Eastern Church. In fact, there is an entire divine liturgy that is used as the most common liturgy to this day in Byzantine churches. That liturgy is named after St. John Chrysostom because he essentially, I'll say it this way, he kind of edited that. In other words, he basically gave us the liturgy that is said, celebrated in many Byzantine churches to this day. I want you to think about that for a second. Think about that as an inspiration as you look at this icon, because that's what icons do. They inspire us because they're relevant for our lives. They give us a blueprint for life. Here's a man that all the way back in the 4th century did something out of love of God that we are availing ourselves of even to this day. Centuries and centuries later. Think of all the thousands and thousands of people who have prayed to God, who have communed with God through the Eucharist in the divine liturgy that was put together largely by St. John Chrysostom. That's an incredible contribution to humanity. And that liturgy for all time will be celebrated. And it goes all the way back to this one person. Now that should inspire us with the fact that we too ought to aspire to do something out of love of God that will benefit humanity for who knows how long, maybe for centuries and centuries. But it is possible, and here's a man who did it. Now, in the icon, there's 2 other things that are very relevant for us. First of all, as icons always do, when they depict saints or human beings with bodies, especially saints, in this case, St. John Chrysostom, notice how the body seems to be very, almost not present. You know he's a human person, he's got a body, but there's no real anatomy showing, there's no musculature, it just seems like a flat cloth, a flat pattern, almost as though it were without dimension. Yet you know it's a body. See the both and? Very important. The depiction of icons is communicating to us our ultimate destiny as a human person. A lot of people don't know that what we're meant to become, what we're destined for, is to have our bodies and souls reunited again in heaven forever in a sort of a spiritualized form. We don't know exactly how it will be, but it'll be glorious and spiritualized. We'll have a body, we'll have this body that we knew on earth, but it'll be somehow glorious and back intact together, integrated, body and soul together. That's how we were meant to be. We were never meant to die. And here in the icon is a reminder to us of that human destiny. Now that should do something to us, to our heart, our whole understanding of life. The second thing is, look up at his face. Notice the tilt of the face and the expression. Icons will always take a saint or someone in the presence of God or the Mother of God, and they'll always tilt their heads down like that, like his head is. That's called deference. Now what's important about that is, that, believe it or not, is a key to great loving relationships, especially for married couples. To have a deference, a posture of deferential love. And deference means to defer. In other words, to humble ourselves before the other person, to put the other person first. We first put God first, as John Chrysostom did. That's why he made such a contribution. He was so holy. He defers to the power and the glory of God. Secondly, to put the other person first in a relationship. Instead of accusing, blaming, being angry, holding on to hurts and grudges, defer to them. Always be conscious of what their needs are, how you can try to meet those needs. Deferential love is a key to happy, loving relationships. And there it is, in the posture of the head in this icon. One more thing about St. John Chrysostom. There he holds in his hand the guide for all of us, the gospel, the Bible. That is, as Chrysostom will tell us, what we use for our manual for life. And what's in the Bible, all that spirituality, that whole message is ingeniously communicated to us through the art, architecture, and liturgy of the church, just as it is here in John Chrysostom. Glory to Jesus Christ.